Hello everyone, welcome you all. Today we are discussing about types of frameworks in Selenium. Okay, what are the different types of frameworks in Selenium? First of all, what is mean by framework? A framework is a set of guidelines, right? A framework is a set of guidelines or rules used for creating and designing the test cases. You are writing the test cases, right? We using some frameworks to create to reduce the maintain the test cases or to design the test cases to create the test cases. We are using some frameworks. Okay, what are the frameworks we are using? Data driven, keyword driven, sorry, hybrid driven, and lots of frameworks we have. We are using some. Okay. What is meant by framework? A framework is a set of guidelines. Okay. Here it is a set of guidelines like coding standards, test data handling, object repository treatment, etc. Okay, it creates a beneficial increases in structure of data, designing of the data means the test cases. Okay, fine. If you follow those guidelines, your management of script will be reduced and it is higher portability and increase the code reusage. Okay, it is beneficial outcomes like increasing code reusage, higher portability, reduce script maintenance cost. Fine. Framework is nothing but set of guidelines. Okay. Here we have some frameworks are there in our Selenium, and it is main important in Selenium interview questions also. What is mean by a framework? They will ask like this. And what are the different types of Selenium frameworks are there? These are the main interview questions for Selenium automation. And we have some different types. They are keyword driven, and next one data driven framework. Okay, and third one page object model, and fourth one cucumber BDD framework itself, and fifth one hybrid framework. These are the different frameworks we have in a Selenium. Okay, keyword driven, data driven, POM. POM means page object model. Cucumber is a behavior data driven, and hybrid means combination of any two. Okay, hybrid means combination of keyword and data, or combination of POM keyword, or combination of cucumber POM. Okay, do you know about the hybrid meaning, right? Then, what is meant by keyword driven framework in Selenium? Here, it is a method used for speeding up automated testing by separating keywords from common set of functions or instructions. Here, okay, we are separating keywords for common set of functions and instructions. All the operations and instructions to be performed or written in some external file. Okay, those are called as Excel sheets or data, some sheets where they give the data. Okay, here it is a Excel sheet. We have the columns. First columns we have test case ID, and second column we have test steps, then test objective or test locator, and test data, and keyword, and remarks. Okay, these are the columns available in an Excel sheet. Okay, keyword driven framework. We have to fill these data through our script. Okay, this table is defined in a Excel or database. Okay, we have to fill those tables through our script. Okay, those are called as keyword driven framework. And I have a logging test case. It is a scenario. First, I have to open this URL. Assume the test case ID is test TC1. Okay, first test case, right? It is TC1. Assume that. In first step, it loads a web page. We have to load the web page. Test data is URL. Keyword is nothing but we are to automate this one we have a keyword, right? What is the keyword? Get keyword. Okay, it is a function. We are using driver.get, right? Get is a function and the keyword is get. And then next one, test case 2 and step is 2. Test object is we have a locator, right? Username locator we have a test data and the test data is demo, and the keyword is to give a send keys, right? To give a send keys method, then it give a username. Next, step 3 and the object is given, right? We have a locator, right? Something x or y, and the password is 1234 and keyword is send keys. Test case ID 1. Next, fourth step, then we have to click on login button. Then objective is something and test data is not required and keyword is click. Okay, like this we are going to fill the data by using some functions. Okay, we are going to fill in a table format. To fill this data in a table format, we are using keyword driven framework. Okay, here the challenge is for everything be comfortable for writing the test cases. If we not have any code, right? We didn't have any predefined functions also. Okay, or to find number of frames we didn't have any predefined functions. For this one, we have to write a function. Okay, for this you have to know the Java. Okay, fine. If you don't have any predefined functions, go with the keyword driven framework. And here we are using password and username and password. Here we are using valid username and valid password. At a time, we are unable to pass valid and invalid, right? We are unable to write positive cases and negative cases at a time. And further, we have another framework that is called as data driven framework. Here, how to read data from Excel and how to put or how to give an output to the Excel, we are learning from the data driven framework. Okay, it can be easily modified for a specific functionality without changing the code. It is used to fetch the test cases and suits from the Excel or csv.xml or some database tables. Okay, what is the importance of data driven framework? It can fetch the data and it can give the data. What is meant by page object model? Page object model means here it is a fundamental unit of a framework, unit of a work in Maven, and it is having an XML file that contains information about the project. Okay, I will show you an example. I was written 100 scripts. Okay, I was written 100 scripts. After writing the 100 scripts, they changed the UI of the login page. Okay, they changed the UI of the login page after writing the 100 scripts. Okay, then how many scripts I should update? 100 scripts I should update, right? Right? In each script you hard-coded that login page. That's why to overcome those issues, we are using page object model. Okay? We are using page object model to reduce our code and to reuse our code. Did you understand what is meant by page object model? If any changes happens, it only affect a single page while we are using page object model framework. It won't affect the actual test codes. And here we are using, it is very helpful for reusability. And we can use the same objects in a variety of test cases. Okay, what is a specification and implementation? There is an important difference in tests between the specification of what to test versus how to test, right? How to test and what to test. Okay, we are going to maintain object repository here. Okay, we are using object repository to store our locators. to store all the locators. Okay. Did you know the advantage of page object model? Here, the locator is only, we define the locator only once, but we are using that locator in number of times, right? It replaces the structure, it reduces the code coverage, okay? Why? Because we are using the code, right? For example, we automated the login page, right? Here we hard coded and we combine the both specification and implementation, right? We load the web page, click on the login, entering the username, password, and clicking on the submit button, right? For here we have a locators, right? We combine the specification and implementation. Here it is okay, but here if there is any changes, if the developer updates any code, sorry, any changes, and there is something changes in the locator, the XPath or the ID of the locator will change, right? At that time we are facing lots of issues by combining the specification and implementation. That's why we are using page object model in that page factory to write the locators in page factory. Okay. Right. UI changes only affect to a single page object, not to the actual test code. Where the effect is happens, there should you have to change. And then you can use that method in number of codes or number of programs. Right. And here it reduces the amount of duplicated code and encapsulate the internal state of a page into a single page object. Okay. For this we are using page object model. And it is mainly known as POM. Don't confuse page object model and POM. That creates an object repository for storing the all web elements. Here we are using object repository to store the all the web elements, and it reduces the code duplication and improves the test case maintenance. And it is the main important question in the interviews. What are the advantages of POM? Mainly the advantages are three. They are easy maintenance, code reusability, readability and reliability of scripts. Okay. Next, what is mean by cucumber? What is mean by cucumber and what is the importance of cucumber? Okay, cucumber is a BDD framework. Okay, and BDD stands for behavior driven development. We are writing behavior of a script or behavior of an application in a plain English or simple English, and that using Gherkin language. Okay, here it explains the behavior of the application in a simple English and using Gherkin language. What is meant by Gherkin language also we'll discuss. And what is meant by Hybrid is combination of both. If we combine any two features, it is called as hybrid, right? It is combination of keyword and data driven, or it is combination of POM or cucumber. Those are called as hybrids, right? Here we are mixturing the frameworks of POM and cucumber, and our final framework is hybrid framework, and it tries to take the benefits of different frameworks and structures and combine them to produce a better product and efficient application. Okay, fine. And these are the different types of Selenium frameworks. Make sure that you are aware of these frameworks, and we are not using keyword driven framework. Okay, uh, it's not using in nowadays on real time projects. Most of them are using data driven frameworks, and which the data are in Excel sheets or database tables. We can fetch those from data driven framework. And here we are using page object model and cucumber. Okay, how to create this framework and the configuration of page object model. Let's discuss implementing page object model. Here we no need to add a separate files. By default, Selenium supports page object model. Here we don't need to add any jars or any plugins dependencies. Like here, to use this one in WebDriver API, we have an annotation, and that annotation is called find by. Okay, let me open my WebDriver API. In WebDriver API, we have an annotation called find by. From starting to now, we are using test-ng annotations, right? To implement this framework, we are using find by to find the locators. And this find by is a WebDriver annotation. It's not an test-ng annotation. And the alternative mechanism for locating the elements or list of elements. We are using the find element, right? Driver dot find element by XPath. We are using that to locate elements, right? From now we are using find by. Okay, what is the importance of it? Is used to locate the element or list of element, and it is used to mark a field on a page object to indicate an alternative mechanism for locating elements. As on today, we are using driver.find element by id something, right? From now onwards, we are using @find by. Here you are getting some doubt what is the difference between find by and find element, right? Find by will look for the element only when it is used, while find element will look for an element as soon as you call it. If you call it, then find element will look for an element. If you use find by, it will look for the element only when it is used. Okay. Here web element e, for example, web element equal to driver.find element by .id we are giving id value. Here that id locator was storing into the web element e, right? From now onwards we are using iterate find by. Okay, to use find by we have a syntax, and the syntax is we can locate elements by class name, id, css, text name, tag name, xpath, link text, partial link text, right? As we discussed in the first starting of our project, and we are using find by from these also. And here I'm passing the id, and the id is login link. If you have a name, you can write id as a name, and name is equal to some name value. And I'm giving web element some, it is a user defined, you can give a or something else. Right. We are using either that or this, but from now onwards we are using the find by, and it is an alternative mechanism for locating the elements or list of elements. And you can find the web elements using popular locators like name, id, class name, link text, etc. And the first step is passing the attribute and its value for locating the web element to the find by find by annotation. The second step is declaring the variable. Here we are declaring the variable, right? Web element something e or x or anything. Maybe it's login, web element login. Okay, the first step is passing the attribute and its value to the find by annotation, and the next step is declaring the variable so that it can be used further in the test implementation, right? And we have page factory, and page factory allows users to quickly and easily to create page objects. Okay, fine. Page factory allows users to quickly and easily create page objects, and it can be a factory class in Selenium for implementing the page object model also. In this page factory we have a predefined class, and we have some methods, right? Page factory init elements also. Init elements, by using this syntax we are going to use elements. We are going to use init elements. Okay. What is mean by page factory? A page factory is a page factory class in Selenium for implementing the page object model, and which follows the separation techniques for handling the page objects and test cases from the class that extends from the WebDriver classes. We are using predefined class, and that class name is page factory in page object model. Now I'm going to automate the same test cases and the same scenario in a page object model. For this, I'm going to create a object repository. Let's go with the example. I'm creating a class, and my class name is OR. OR means object repository. Okay, it's a user defined name. I can give my wish, right? I given the class name as or. Let's click on finish. In this class, what are the locators? We are using username, password locator, submit locator, login locator, right? I'm going to store all these locator elements in a object repository. Fine. And that is a login link. I'm storing here. Yeah, you can give any order. It's a login link, right? And those are the predefined annotation and web element is a predefined interface. We have to import, and we have to import by control shift O. Okay, control shift O is there. It will import all the required, and the shortcut is control shift O. And for username we having id or xpath. We are using xpath, right? Just copy this xpath in there. Replace id with xpath. And xpath expression is input type equal to text, and the web element is text field. Okay, t field username. In the same manner I have to locate password also. For password we are having xpath. Copy those xpath and paste it over here, and the variable name is text field password. Then click on submit button, right? Then click on submit. For submit we are having xpath. Copy that xpath and paste it over here, and the variable is submit. It is a button, right? Button submit. These are same locators, but we are using in another approach, right? And we have a logout also. For logout we have a link. We have an id logout trigger, right? Copy and pasting over here, replacing xpath with the id, and the id value logout trigger, and the web element is link logout. Okay, we are finding the elements. The approach is different, and we are using alternative mechanism to find the elements. Okay, we are storing in the object repository. You can give any class name. That's why it is the first time, right? That's why I'm giving object repository to understandable. And here I'm giving a constructor name and class name must be same, right? I'm using page factory class, and init elements is the method. For this we have to pass two parameters. One is driver object and the other is class, where we have allocators this, and the class name we have to pass. Here I am giving the web driver. We have to import the web driver drive because it is a predefined interface. Okay, or is a constructor, right? In that I'm giving the page factory class and init elements method, and for this we are passed two parameters, and one parameter is driver and another parameter is this. Okay, okay, if you are writing this, what is this, what is this keyword, it can be used to refer current class members. Okay, if you are writing this line in another class, okay, you have to pass the class or dot class. Okay, if it is an another class, then you have to write or dot class. I'm writing inside this class, and that's why I'm using this keyword, and this keyword can be used to refer current class members, and it is a main important question in interviews. Okay, what is meant by this keyword, what is meant by super keyword now, and this class having some way, some locators and some one constructor, and we are combining the variables and the constructor. And from now I'm going to create a new class, and my class name is called page factory demo. Okay, and we have to create a page factory class, right? That just now we have discussed. In this class, before method and after method is common. Before method and after method is common, and the test code is going to vary. Only the test code is going to vary. Okay, fine. First we are loading the web page, then we have to click on login locator, right? I'm going to create object to or class, or object name, and I'm giving a login page new, I'm giving a new operator and or constructor, and we have to pass one parameter is driver object, or constructor having a driver object, right? I created object to the or class. Now to click on login link, click on login link. It's just simple, login page dot link login. I given the variable as a link login, right? That's why I'm giving login link dot click. I have to click, right? That's why I'm using the click function. Okay, next enter username. To enter username, and the object is login page, right? Login page dot text user field, sorry, text field username, right? How to type text field? By send keys method. I'm using demo. Then enter password. Password. Login page dot t field password dot send keys, and my password is 1234. Then what next? Click on submit button. To click on login button, login page dot button submit dot click. Okay, then after I want to give a thread dot sleep and delay for some 2 seconds. Then click on logout link. How to click on logout link? Login page dot link logout dot click. Then I'm giving again 2-second delay, then close the browser in after method. Now it is same as login test case, right? Earlier we hard coded. Now we are writing sorry, we are writing the elements in one object repository and we are creating that page factory class. For that we are creating page factory. Simply run the button. Yeah, it's going to run. It launched the browser, loads the web page. And it's going to load the web page. And the username is demo. Password is 1234 and submit. Then click on login and again click on logout. Okay. Any difficulty and any confusion? Nothing, right? And one more thing, these steps are common for every test cases. These steps are common for every test cases. Instead of writing these steps in test cases, can I use reusable function? Yes. In general, in page object model, each page wise we are giving some methods. Okay. Now I'm giving some methods as public, void, fill, login, and it is user defined name. You can give any name. Here we have to pass two parameters, username and password, string username and string password. Then here it is a user defined function, right? And it is a parameterized method. For this method, how many parameters we have to pass? Two parameters. One is username and another is password. Now, first we have to click on login link, right? Login link dot click. Sorry, link login dot click. Then tfield username dot send keys and we have to pass our send keys as uname. I'm passing uname. Then next send tfield password, right? Tfield password dot send keys and we have to pass password pwd. Then I have to click on submit button. To click on submit button submit dot click. Then I'm here creating a reusable function. In this reusable function, I'm not hard coded any locator. Okay, I'm not hard coded any test data also. Without hard coding, I created a reusable function. Whenever you want to use, just use this function or call this function. Okay. Here Here we are writing lots of steps, right? Just I want to use login page dot class name dot method name. Sorry, object name dot method name. And I want to pass two parameters. My parameters are demo and 1234. That's it. Here we reduces the code from a number of lines to single line. Okay. Then I want to run. Okay. Try to understand the concept what we are using, and it is main important in real time projects, and it is in interview point of view also it is very helpful. Okay. And the my test case run, and there is no failure, it is passed. You can write anyway, but make sure you are following the need and usable frameworks to implement your code, and the structure is good. Okay, use the frameworks and simplify your test scripts. And I want to use another method also here, and we are using demo and 1234, right? Can I read? Yes. Here I'm going to combine data driven and POM principle. Then it is called as hybrid. Okay. The test case is same, and I want to change the demo as hard to fetch from the Excel sheets. Okay. And we want to fetch the data from Excel. In this project, under root folder we have a test data, and the test data is login. In this one we have a test data, right? I want to read test data from here. Okay, I want to fetch the data from here. How to read or how to fetch the data through our script? Let's discuss. Okay, I want to read the data from Excel utils, and I created the Excel utils class, right? Create object to Excel utils class. New Excel utils constructor. For this class, we are passing two parameters. One is the URL of Excel, and the next parameter is the sheet name. URL of Excel, and next one is sheet name. Test data is in sheet 1, right? We have to pass the sheet 1. Okay. Here I am creating object to the Excel utils class. Right. How to read the cell data? Hmm? In Excel we have a method, and that method name is called get cell data. What is a row and column for this particular cell? Hmm? Do you know rows and columns? And we have to know the row and columns of this particular cell. And you have to get aware of what is the row and what is a column while dealing with the Excel dot get cell data, and we had to pass the index of row and column index. It is second row and that's why I'm using 1 and the column is 0, and then get cell data 1 comma 1, second row second column, and always index starts with 0, that's why I'm using 1 comma 1. Okay, we are using data driven principle and page object model principle, that's why we call as hybrid test. Okay, combination of any two principles or any two frameworks we are calling as hybrid frameworks. Fine, and then I want to run my project, run my script. Click on login, demo 1234, submit, then log out. Okay, and my test case is passed. Listen here, you can use any method, whether you can hard code your test data or you can write any given data like demo 1234, right? It is your wish. Okay, I'm using data driven and page object model. Okay, we are using TestNG principle also. Here we are using TestNG framework, page object model and data driven. Okay, here we are using @test, right? That is the TestNG framework annotation, and Excel utils or data driven framework, and object repository and page factory we are created, right? Those are the page object models. Going forward, we are using the Cucumber also. Okay, you all are get aware of those and be practice. If you learn something, you have to must practice, then only you will get some knowledge on that. Okay, there is a better future in automation. Hope you get understood this video and get aware of those frameworks. And in coming session, we discuss about Cucumber, Maven. Okay, fine. And up to now, it is clear. And hope you like this video and it is helpful for you. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye. See you in the next video.